But this time I'm just so excited to see the entire throwback on the Louis Arlon combo in the side of Team Liquid Philippines. I feel like it'll add another element of surprise. But hopefully it works for Team Liquid Philippines.
All right, I hear you, Liquid Curly.
Okay, I'm sorry, Falcons guy.
Nah, don't worry, it's gonna be a good one.
It's the legendary face-off here. Representing, you got a rep. It is gonna be the Cavalry or the 2% squad. I love that. That's a new title. So we're gonna go into it, into the Land of Dawn for game number 1, lower bracket finals, best of 7 casters. Let's go.
For more than a year now, we have been an audience to one of the most electrifying and must-watch rivalries in all of MLBB sports. This time, only one of them moves forth through the brackets. This is the Clash of Titans. Once more in pursuit of immortality. At your service, my name is Leo, here with Ingan and Brigida. Ingan, did you see that Faramis coming?
I didn't, but considering its few, the way he saves Team Falcons acting as the captain, you cannot disregard Faramis when it comes to Team Falcons.
Yeah, it's been a storyline we've been discussing even yesterday with Leo on the panel, how Team Falcons just seems to always be ready to save one another whenever it's needed.
Yeah.
And it's not just that, like individually, they're really looking prepared. I mean, look at those 2 Purifies on Few and Okwin.
Yeah, we saw this yesterday, but in the hands of TLPH too. They're vitalized also from FlapTZ with the Baksha. But if you can recall correctly, we've been seeing a trend wherein players actually, use the heroes that they had trouble with. They want to prove something this time. Few using the Faramis. This was the hero he used when they lost against TLPH early on in the playoffs.
Oh, that's such a throwback, right? It just happened the other day, and it has struggled indeed to quite some extent. But I think we could say the same for the Fredrin. That was also a losing hero for Team Liquid Philippines the first time they decide to show it up. But I feel like this time there is a significant difference in terms of how they're able to complement what the Fredrin can offer, especially when it comes to the team fights. They're not gonna just leave anyone behind and okay. That was close for a few.
I think Liquid wants to start the Demolish Falcons formation.
Yeah.
That's step 1. You mentioned in the draft that Falcons want to do that. Liquid already starting, just the first turtle in. Few put down a third of his health. Another call by JP. Turtle started.
Imagine if that hook connected.
Yeah.
But now the turtle has been started. FlapTZ trying to zone him out. Here comes the Unleash. The Beast coming in from KyleTZ. Who's going to get the turtle? Sanji secures it. Here comes another realm from Few. Will the clash still continue on as TLPH disperse?
No kills for Falcons.
Yeah.
They lose the turtle in some freak of nature accident. Sanji scores it. What's going on?
Yeah, and Team Liquid Philippines didn't have to use much of their resources. There wasn't the final slash that came in from Sanford. He just went in the members of Team Falcons just to disturb them, just to disrupt whatever plans they had, and just dashed away, used the vengeance out once he got the job done. And fortunately for them, they were actually able to secure it through Sanji, but that was a close call for Team Liquid.
A lot of action so far from the XP lane to the mid. First turtle spawned there. Second will be going back to that same spot. How about the gold lane? Let's talk about that, how perfect the BPI gold difference. It looks like a lot of the gold is on where it matters for Falcons. They have a small lead, very, very small lead.
Yeah, and this is what you would expect from Super Marco, right? He's been always the guy to be so consistent in terms of the farming. He almost never gets left behind or delayed on the farm, which is why this is surprising to see how OM probably really wants to get back at all the chances he wasn't able to perform as much in the previous day.
And that's why he's calling on Daddy JP. JP, let me try to get a free kill here. Ogwin to the rescue. So far, both teams just checking range, making sure that this next turtle will be a better go. Because again, a freak of nature, like how often does that happen?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that in terms of range and reach, Team Falcons has it all. In terms of reach, there's the Baksha paired up with the Mathilda, and range from Super Marco, so they can be as aggressive as possible because the extended team fights clearly will favor later on Team Falcons.
Damn straight. While Liquid wants to play in that short range, they're playing with jabs, they're playing with straights, maybe a few hooks, but nothing to check range really, except for that hook. Yeah. That's the only thing that they want, and I mean hook like a punch and a hook like an actual hook, legit. Daddy JP, changing the game. The last time we saw Franco in the playoffs was what? In the hands of Yaoi. And that was a valiant effort, but now second turtle spawning, upper quarter, FlapTZ versus the scene, KyleTZ holding ground.
Again, FlapTZ will try to go for the backbite. Is it going to be a bloody hunt? On to Few. Few's the first man down, circling Eagle already committed down as Caltisi goes in with the unleashed beast. They might go for Sanford. Shockwave Blast wasn't enough to tear him down. Team Falcons lost their captain.
Falcons back to business, taking that turtle down. Half health. JP, no ult. Maybe has a hook. Diversion play.
Okay. Now. Still, Carl TZ will secure it. TLPH still wanting to go for more, but right in the nick of time, Few comes in with another realm, might go right after JP, but the save from Carl TZ was there. Energy eruption to bring down 2. Wanna make it 3 as Sanji picks up 2.
A devastating finish for Falcons. Not a turtle, not a kill, it was all liquid.
And it was too clean of a call from Sanji as well. He laid out the diversion for Carl TZ just to get to the turtle, for him to be able to use the retribution. And that entire team fight took long enough. Yes, we did say that Falcons would be the ones winning if it took too long, but at that point it was too long. They were no longer having their skills, and Sanford was able to come back to the fight.
You know, Carl TZ has been doing a lot, considering the fact that JP is on the Franco. You can expect him to go with the Winter Crown first for his priority item. So Carl TZ will be the main tank of TLPH.
Yeah, Daddy JP was the patsy there. They were afraid of him, so they did not check what was in the bush, and it was a wild Carl TZ. What happened there? What?
Oh, it seems like they found Ogwen, who was simply trying to provide some information as well for Super Marco, since there are a lot more faster rotations from Team Liquid Philippines happening right now.
Oh God, Carl TZ, right in Marco's face. Here comes Kyle and Flap.
Forced reaction there from Team Falcons to give enough space again for Super Marco. Here comes the Shield Unity. Flap TZ getting caught out by 4. You have to watch out for the hook, because there is Daddy JP again. As Sanji picks up one more. NetherRealm paired up with the ultimate coming in from Carl TZ, but he cannot out-sustain anything TLPH is throwing at them.
A second off timing. It's the same trap that Falcons fell for post-turtle. That's literally... Oh my God, one more!
Unbelievable timings from Team Liquid Philippines, and they're looking for more!
Diversion to Marco. Sanford with the final slash beats the kill off to Sanji, and a huge strong start for the Cavalry.
I think it's safe to say this is what they call in the business a liquid stampede.
We haven't seen this yesterday. They missed doing this kind of gameplay, and it's so interesting to see how confidently they answer back to hold on.
Oh, even with the Purify, you can't do that with the ult of the Franco. Few again will drop down in exchange for the turtle Kyle TZ will be getting.
A Pyrrhic victory for Falcons. They sacrifice Few for a short-term goal. That is the last turtle of the game, but they lose top lane tier 1. Liquid are winning trades.
Yep, it's been a very efficient early game so far. 10-1 is the kill score. And you see how dominant Team Liquid Philippines are playing this game. They're making use of the surprise element yet again.
Speaking of surprise, Flap TZ did not expect that, as the turret down bottom also goes down.
The way Liquid is playing, I hate to say it, it seems personal. This is for the reverse sweep. This is for that sweep we lost yesterday. I mean, Falcons had nothing to do with that, but they are proving to the Cavalry, to the world, that this is how they play.
Oh, Carl TZ jumps in. There comes the energy eruption and circling Eagle. Super Marco wants to dish out the damage to try and save the mid lane turret, but the Stampede cannot be contained.
At this point, Team Liquid Philippines are just able to deal with whatever strengths Team Falcons has when it comes to the team fight. Despite the presence of the Unleash the Beast, despite the presence of the NetherRealm, Team Falcons, they use all those resources at once, but it's not enough.
NetherRealm seems nothing but a blankie to Team Liquid Philippines ammo. Like, this is legit firepower they're playing with. I didn't expect that much damage to come out of this lineup this quick. Another diversion being set up here by Sanji. Falcons not falling for it, not a third time.
Oh, but they have to watch out because Sanford has his flicker and ultimate ready to be expended. Oh, a response from Team Falcons as Flap TZ jumps in. Zaman Force drop down. Kyle TZ with the Unleash the Beast. First man down. There is Flap TZ. Few comes in with another round, but a beautiful hook once again from JP. Super Marco survives though, but not for long. 2 will fall down in exchange for 2. Clash still going on. Kyle TZ sets his eyes on Sanji. Might be able to take him down, but Sanji, the chef is cooking now.
Ogwen coming in, circling Eagle, trying to close the gap, takes down JP, and it's him and Sanji.
Ooh.
Carteasy going for purple, steals it. Sanji staying.
Oh, diversion. Sanji's gonna back off now. After that long clash, it seems like still TLPH won that trade.
It was insane. There was a beautiful block that Carteasy already attempted to do. He tried to block off FLCN and whoever wanted to go in from Team Falcons, but there was another route that was available. So Carteasy got his hands on Oheb, on Sanji. He was able to find those two members and zone them long enough so Team Liquid Philippines lacked the necessary damage for the front lines for them to do and replicate what they've been constantly doing in the first few team fights.
Yeah, and not to mention, out of the 5 Falcons ready to charge in, JP was on point with his Iron Hook. He got the bulletproof.
Marco couldn't flicker out of range. There was just too much happening in the trenches, in the paint, as I like to call it. Liquid now, starting the dance. They're aware that Falcons are here. I don't know if they know what's in the Y brush. Out of range, out of vision. Few and Ogwin. Marco taking the position. Oh, we're waiting for the diversion here. Watch out for Sanji.
Yeah. You gotta watch out, although they showed all of them. They're going for Flap.
Trying to go for Frap. Energy Eruption already casted down. FLCN popped his Revitalize. TLPH caught Falcon out of their position, and now they're in full control of this Lord.
Nothing up, Liquid sleeves. Safe for now. Taking control of the pixel brush. Falcons, though, very cautious. They're afraid. They're respecting this almost 5,000 gold lead.
Yeah, if it's not going to come from the diversion of Sanji, it's going to come from the final slash and flicker from Sanford. And Team Falcons are wary of that. That's why they cannot just come in at any given moment. Sanford good with the zone. TLPH 8k gold health left for the Lord. Carteasy jumps in with the Unleash the Beast, and Carteasy secures it. Final slash coming in from Sanford as they bring down Carteasy as well. They flicker in. They caught Few. They sandwich Few. And now a diversion to cut off the exit route of Team Falcons. Carteasy jumps in. Super Marco with the Rhapsody going to pick up one. But OM answers back. And a wipeout for the Cavalry.
They take no prisoners. Dog walking Falcons after the Lord. Trading Sanji for it and everything else on the map.
It was JP on that perfect timing with the bloody hunt. Carteasy went in, but the moment they were about to fight for the retry battle, there was the bloody hunt that was waiting for him.
How often does it happen that the big dog gets the one bitten down on? That's what we needed to bite. Again, JP has been a man possessed. He's been in a trance. Bite Few when it matters. Bite Marco when it matters. Now it's bite Kyle when it matters.
Now Team Falcons has to face the fact that the Lord is sieging in onto the top lane. With the lead established by Team Liquid, they can get not just one, but maybe even 2 inhibitor turrets. So Team Falcons forced to defend this. Circling Eagle jumped in as Carteasy goes in with the Unleash the Beast. Sanji Oheb got demolished. Few with a clutch at the realm. Sanford's left to defend for himself against 4 members though. Will he be able to escape? But a pull coming in from Few will shut him down. 3 members down for TLPH.
You mess with a dog, you get bit.
Yep.
Falcons clapping back.
Yep, it was a very decisive call from Team Falcons. The moment they saw that Sanford already used that final slash and was unable to connect it onto anyone, they just immediately called for the engage. There went the Circling Eagle, there went the Unleash the Beast, and last minute, even the Netherrealm, just so that they could fully commit, even just onto Sanford, because they really want to take any kill that they can at this point.
It's not even the kit that Liquid didn't consider. It was just the damage output Falcons had. What was that, 6k between them?
Yeah.
And still Falcons were punching that hard?
Yeah.
Yeah, Liquid got that coming.
Yeah, unfortunately for Falcons, they only lost 1 inhibitor turret in exchange for 3. Was able to even take away the mid lane turret plus the purple buff away from Carteasy. So now, slowly, they're diminishing the lead.
And that is why Falcons took that fight up top. They knew that the wave in mid wouldn't crash in so hard, and they risked it. They let that turret go down to half health, and now they can recover. They have about a minute of peace on the map, because Lord is spawning in about 30.
Yeah, and if you saw the gold earlier between these two teams, it's not that far. It's not that too big of a gap that exists between Team Liquid Philippines and Falcons on a lane-to-lane basis. And this is probably why Team Falcons is just as confident to engage as well. Like, they can rely on the damage that they can get from Super Marco. That they can rely on the damage that they can get from Carteasy. And it's surprising to see them in this kind of situation, despite the map control, despite the early dominance that Team Liquid Philippines has shown us. And that's what's terrifying, because Team Falcons, their lineup, they can just go in all in at once.
Maybe this is what I should have been worried about. Not the early to mid-game damage, but late game. Because look, if Oheb gets picked off, if Sanji gets picked off, where's the damage coming from? Are you going to get smacked by a Fredrin, by a Franco over and over again?
Yeah, and not to mention the heals that will be coming from Few and of course from Ogwin. But again, the surprise factor is still there for Team Liquid Philippines. If Team Falcons wants to play a 5-man unit as a team, TLPH has enough kit to individualize the formation of Team Falcons.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have complete item builds as well for their gold laners already. JP also picking up the fleeting time. So just one successful bloody hunt that they can eventually convert into a pick-off. Then that'll allow them to just proceed with the fights. Even though it becomes a prolonged team fight, it probably wouldn't be a problem.
All the more now, I think JP has to bite the right target. And I prefer he bites down on damage dealers.
Yeah.
Bite down on Few, bite down on Marco, Kyle TZ if you can. Because if you bite down on a defensive character like this, oh my god.
Everyone's jumping in with their ultimates. Oh! Carl TZ secures the Lord. Here comes the Nether Realm. JP biting down with the Winter Crown also, but Carl TZ answers back with the Unleash the Beast. They're trying to go for Sanji. Here comes the clapback from Team Falcons, but Sanford with a beautiful final slash. The sacrificial play turned into a good play for the Cavalry. A 1-for-1 trade.
They back off.
Sanji!
Falcons knows they shouldn't be picking this fight. Sanji's in the base.
Sanji! The Lone Stallion! Might be able to do it though, but Kyle TZ jumps in the nick of time. But still, TLPH holds on because they have a Lord up top.
All right, I'll say this is mission success. They got into the base and they're going for it.
Oh, he wants to go in for the tower lock. Kyle TZ with the Winter Crown play. The minions have spawned, but every single member of Team Falcons now in the picture. Oh, will be able to do it though. A double kill for the MVP. Oh, we're trying to defend. There's a diversion play, a triple, and CL takes game 1.
From the flank, the Cavalry goes for a stampede Falcons didn't see coming. Game 1 goes to Team Liquid Philippines.